Fox from Weiland from Sartigan. Contact there between Olander being chased by Christian Brunsborg. And Sergio Pallet car, which sent that round. We may be able to see it from staying on board with Luca Nurmi here. You'll see Mathieu Vibo potentially to the inside. Yeah, there is, and that's where he didn't actually even quite get on. To take too long for that to be recovered. Here it is in replay. I just think that now race control will look at that, I'm sure, but I just don't think that overtake was on, Nico.
Certainly from that view, I would have to agree that didn't look like, and there is the AC car on board, and yeah, he wasn't far enough along.
Sandro Cozzi getting out of the car. So here in replay, well, and that was just one of those podium of the season. Hugo Delacour, I mean, he saw the opportunity here up the inside, but he was just carrying too much speed. To be fair, I don't think there was contact between himself and Powlett, or if there was, it was very light. Oh, actually, I take that back. There was contact. Not the Christian Kinch car. And that is definitely where the contact on Christian Kinch came. And we always knew that he'd got turned around at turn number 3, and it was definitely the Martinez Richter Murtel Italo cars Nuremberg that made contact on Christian Kinch. And that, unfortunately, put him nicely parked on the grass. Exactly not what he wanted. Oh, and also having gone around now, and this in replay was the 1-2-3 car of Matteo Lualdi.
Still have one more lap in spite of the slowing down. There you can see that again in replay.
It was just really bad luck as he pushed really hard. Mikhail Simoncic, come down a little bit more. Martinez Richter with a bold move on the inside of Josef. Skeltermar and Fox in a battle together here. The big beneficiary, James Michel Gatting leads. Jorge Pinto goes Skeltermar. Axel Sardigan loses the back end of the car. He's on the grass. There's action all the way through. Tommy Lindroth gets hit by Martinez Richter. Take advantage, a touch from Skeltermar on Alex Fox. He goes sliding across the track and collects Axel Sardigan. On board from James Weiland, we pass Philip Barron. Further down the order, well, bold for the AM race lead as Nicolo Rossi. And now what happens here? John Vortigue. Well, that's the spinning Romain Grosjean car, I think. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because we can see that in the background now. Okay, perhaps this angle will give us more of an impression. Is that Roger Grols on the inside of Grosjean? I think it was. So from this angle, yeah. So Grols goes around, and that's how John Bull. More than that, you need adhesion, and that's what Joachim Olander did not have. So that played nicely into the hands of James Weiland, and I think von Skeltermar as well, although he gets whale-tailed at the back. He's one of the drivers potentially on slick tyres, Nico.
Yeah, it looks like. Oh, and there's a coming together, huge coming together. Von Skeltermar involved in that. And that I fear that might certainly bring safety car, possibly a red flag. You can see the von Skeltermar car entirely damaged the front.
Skiro then on the outside of Michel Gatting, and he goes through. Christian Brunsborg is in all sorts of strife. He's in the runoff area. Another car is in problems there as well. But Nicolo Skiro, right at the start of the race, put himself to the... Now, I wonder if, in the course of all that, whether Christian... So the two of them getting very close together. They do make contact. That spits Christian Brunsborg onto the grass and into the barriers. What a torrid weekend Christian Brunsborg has had. So there is AC. He's lost the car, and that big contact into the barriers. So Nicolo Skiro, it was Luca Nurmi that was almost putting it 3 abreast around La Source. And John Dillon getting pushed wide there. And There you can see Niccolo Rossi. There's Pulcini just making contact there with the...
And until this point, all looks okay. There is a...
There.
And then he hits the barrier. That's it.
Tyres at Lisboa.
And the other one might be number 2, Patrick Tang, might have hit the red.
Yeah, it seemed like a car turned around on the exit of the turn 3. I didn't see exactly what happened, but I saw a car going sideways.
Okay, well, Roy Carroll has certainly got some damage on his car. And so let's take a look here.
Yeah, here it comes.
I wonder if that looks like the Roy Carroll car. You're right, he's picked up damage. That's the right side. On board with Podoliccio then.
I got it.
Oh my goodness me. So John Mortigue right across the front of him.
We need to see from outside because it's difficult to...
Okay, John Mortigue then. Such a shame, such a good driver. And a discussion going on, Davide. And
Yeah, it's something that could happen on the race, but even for Portolicchio was not easy to see a car that 6-7.
Oh, okay.
Here is Panalone and...
and just,
big hit.
I mean, to be fair, where could he go?
No, yes.
Oh, my goodness. So it is the number 27 car, Marco Pulcini.
Nothing you can do there.
You know, when you're unsighted like that, Davide, which you are, aren't you? You know, at the speed you're going.
From it's also a big downhill. Maybe you don't see it from television, but in reality, it's really downhill and nearly blind. So it's not easy. And there is just one line. You carry on so much speed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he spun there. Maybe because of cold tires.
Yeah, I know. You can very quickly go from 0 to 0, can't you?
Yeah. It's racing is like this. We know often. Very good season for him today. Not very lucky. He was just involved, was not able to avoid the accident. It was not his fault, but racing is like this. Sometimes could happen. You see now was correct to have the safety car also for the debris out of the last corner. For sure, they need to clean it. Yeah, it's just a small contact.
And
but then, you know, 40 cars are coming.
And so it was as Giuseppe was coming back.
Yeah.
That's where he caught the James Wyland car. Perhaps we can see it here. Yeah, that was it.
Nothing can do it.
I have to say, I feel for James because he's competed with Ernst Kirchmeier so hard, so fair throughout the season. And it's a real shame to see his championship charge end in this way. It was always likely to go Ernst Kirchmeier's way. He had the points advantage following the success yesterday. But that is a great shame. Significant damage to the back of the car there because, of course, he was at that point he could do absolutely nothing.
Nothing. Anyway, he's there. He's getting nervous because, as we see, Coleman is the last lap 2 seconds faster, so he's going away. And maybe Skelterman needed to think about more to the driving and not look so much to the mirror. Oh, let's see next.
Oh, that's Benoit Bergeron into Laurent Demuse. Big impact into the barriers. So that is really, really unfortunate. Benoit Bergeron just got out onto the loop today. Now we can see here Faisal Al-Faisal receiving the attention of Hanno Laskovsky there, which turned Faisal Al-Faisal round. If every driver managed to avoid him, they did blooming well as well. That's in turn 1, I think. And race, there is only one world champion. Whatever region you are from, Liam, you've picked something up there. My goodness me, that's a big, big impact for the 332 car of Jan Bernier. Then, as we can see this, so in taking quite a lot of curb, back end of the car. Didn't look wayward initially, Liam, but then all of a sudden, it's like snap, and the car has got away from him. And I mean, I have to say, the integral safety, as we saw another car going around as well, we didn't actually see up Liam as the pressure was mounted on von Skeltermar. Let's just see this. Does this give us an example of why? It's Claudio Schiavone, I think. And that is the reason why you see the 119 car of Paul Rogers in the gravel trap. There was for a long time. Cooper McNeil got a brilliant start. Michel Gatting appeared to bog down. Luca Nurmi is P1 at the moment as they head in towards turn number 1. Michel Gatting now under pressure from Frederick Paulson. Cooper McNeil around the outside. Is he going to make P3? It looks pretty likely. And Thomas Neubauer, also another very, very strong starter. But Neubauer is round, makes contact with the barriers. A couple of other drivers go in as well. And that for sure will mean a safety car, because we've got one car absolutely embedded in the barriers. And there are still problems because Nicolo Schiro has been collected by... See from on board here is Thomas Neubauer. He's collected by Michel Gatting, I think. I think it was the front end of the Michel Gatting car making contact with Neubauer.
Yeah, let's see that again, but it looked like, because here they are alongside, and then I think there is a little bit of a touch, and Luca Ludwig behind them, and yeah, there's no way for him to go out. I think he braked early, so I don't think the impact was that great, but as you say, the barrier needs to be there to protect the drivers if something goes awry, and as it did here, and yeah, just a little bit unfortunate. Because there are so many cars and so little space, and there is the Nicola Rossi incident.
Now, it looked like Nicolo, unless he got a shove from the back that I didn't see, it just looked like he didn't make that turn particularly well and got caught out on the painted curbs, and the car went sideways. And there you can see the damage and the coolant going off and on that car, and another car going around as well. So a
Copper Shell World Final just a few hours ago, who recovered the car within like 3 or 4 minutes. So let's see if that's going to be possible, because the earlier those cars are removed from the gravel bed, the earlier we can go back to racing.
Here comes the replay that you asked for. Well, to me, it looked like Faisal Al-Faisal got a lump in the back from the number 25 car of Alessandro Cozzi. So whether Ace...